Hello, and welcome to the fabulous Country Club of the North. It's a very exciting day for us here as we celebrate our grand opening with a special visit from Jack Nicklaus. We will be joining Jack here in the clubhouse soon for his press conference, and then he will show us a few things on the practice tee. Finally, Jack, Zempi Hattori, the owner of Country Club of the North, our head pro Lee Rinker, and our club president Dave McKee will play the first official round here at the club, and we can all just sit back and relax and enjoy the course. Now, let's join Jack Nicklaus as he answers some questions about Country Club of the North.
They start with a piece of flat ground, and they only got usually flat pieces of wood or round pieces of wood, and they put it together. We've got a different piece of ground everywhere we go. In different situations, we've got different elevations, different trees, and we work with what we've got. Whereas the way this golf course was done, the golf course was routed into what we thought was the best ground to play golf on. Why do people play golf? Let's start from that premise. Why do they play golf? Because they go outside, they enjoy spending a day in a beautiful place, they enjoy having recreation, spending time with friends, and again, in a nice environment. That, to me, is what golf's about. Now, if you can put good golf holes inside that environment, then you've got the best of both worlds for a golfer. Now I work very hard to try and make sure we got as many dog legs going left as we have going right, and as many in the par fives in 4 different directions if possible, the par 3s in 4 different directions if possible. So we handle all the different wind conditions and all this in different lengths and so forth, and try to get as much of a blend and make a balanced golf course as much as possible. I mean, work that as I can. I mean, obviously it's got to fit the land. I think this golf course will fall into the category of a very playable golf course, generous off the tee, greens that are sort of like I used to do years ago and have been doing lately. I think the greens here are relatively gentle, strong bunkering, a nice rolling piece of property. I think you call it a very nice, pleasant golf course. A golf course that if you wanted to have an event on, you certainly could have an event, because the golf course would never embarrass anybody from that standpoint. A golf course will be challenging, but I think one that the members will enjoy playing. And I think they'll have fun playing. And I think a beginning golfer can come out here and play this golf course. He can learn to play on this golf course. Got a couple spots you might have a little bit of trouble, but good gracious, you know, beginning golfer, there isn't enough land out here to keep him on it.
Well, as you can tell, Jack is very excited about the course, and I'm sure he's looking forward to playing it. First, though, let's get some tips from one of the all-time greatest as he prepares to play.
One of the first things I want to learn when I'm out here warming up is to hit ball first, turf after. Okay? Thing I got to get in my mind, right? That's better. Okay, and after we hit about 10 or 12 wedges, once I feel fairly comfortable with the wedge, I move on to the 8-iron. I warm up with a pitching wedge, then I usually hit an 8-iron, 5-iron, 2-iron, usually a couple of 3-woods, a driver, then I come back and hit a few sand shots. I try to hit everything that sort of represents something within my golf bag. In other words, the pitching wedge is a pitch shot, it's a long approach shot. Then I get 8-iron for the short iron, 5-iron for the middle iron, 2-iron for the long iron, fairway wood, driver, and then back with some pitch shots. So I've covered everything that I'm going to play on that golf course. When I feel like I'm lined up and I don't hit the ball where I want to hit it, I will do my work with my short clubs, my 8-iron and my 5-iron. I won't get beyond that until I'm pretty certain where I want to hit it. And as I said, remember I had this swing over here? Well, my swing de jure is left right now. So we're going to work on that. And why is it left? I'm not sure yet. So I have to sit here and hit a few more shots, not try to make a whole bunch of wholesale changes. Just keep hitting balls till I all of a sudden start to feel some of my fundamentals fall into place. Okay? Start out with a little right to left wind. Okay. Okay, now that's a little more at the target. Okay, now why was that more at the target? Let's see if I can figure that out. Come back and line it up. Try that thing we were doing a minute ago again. Okay, a little heavy, but it's right at the target. Okay, so now I figured out why I hit the ball left. Why I was hitting the ball left was basically, I think I was swinging out and around a little bit more than I wanted to. I need to come back a little more and straighten up. So that was my reasons for getting around. So now I'm here at the 8 iron. That's a little thing I found in my swing that I need to work on that today. So I work on that and move right on. Now if we have to play some left to right shots or right to left shots on the golf course, then we may have to think about that a little bit. If I want to play it left to right, all I do is I've got a square club face to start with. I just open the club face and the ball should move left to right. I just aim left to the target to compensate for that. And then we sort of make sure we got that shot for the golf course. Okay. I got that one. We don't have to worry about that one. Now if I want to hit it right to left, all I do is just close the club face slightly and aim to the right of the target. Same golf swing, same ball position, same aim, same everything. Produce a little right to left. And now, if you're going to need those shots, then you practice them a couple times to make sure you're ready for them. If you have that opportunity come on the golf course, that you might have to do that. And I mean, don't be afraid to practice playing the ball around trees. I mean, if you may never know, you may get behind some trees out there. If you got to hook a ball around a tree and you want to put the club face like that, nothing wrong with that. Let's practice it. Hey? Now ball will go around the tree, right? I've yet to find a ball, if you have a club face like that, it doesn't hook. So now I've got my favorite club to practice. And get ready for it. That's my 2 iron. You all like that club, don't you? And that's your favorite club? You mean you don't like to play a 2 iron? 2 iron's a fun club to play. It's a fun club because everybody's told you it's the hardest club in the bag to play. And my neighbors say, nah, you don't want to play that club. You want to see anybody see you play that. That's too hard to play. So you better get it out of the way real quick. Now that the 2 iron's out of the way and you hit it down there where you can now play your 7 iron to the green, you go down and get your 7 iron and go play it. Everybody likes to play 7 irons, don't they? Well, all this is a 7 iron, just says 2 on the bottom. Okay? Now, so all you want to do is when you got this 2 iron in hand, say, I've got my 7 iron in my hand. So now we got the 7 iron. Let's see what we can hit with the 7 iron. Well, a little left, but look how far that 7 iron went. Now, the reason I say that, I know that everybody's got a favorite club. And when everybody's got a favorite club, I think they ought to try to play it. And if that means taking this golf club and put a little piece of tape and writing 7 on it, then write 7 on it. Doesn't make any difference. I always love the story about Bobby Locke. He was a South African pro. Bobby Locke's favorite golf club was a 4 iron. And on every golf club on the bottom of his club had 4. He's 100 yards away. What'd you play, Bobby? 4 iron. 200 yards away. What'd you play? Played 4 iron. So in other words, the whole point is that he's trying to use the same golf swing with every golf club. And so if you like 7 irons, put 7 on your club, or like 6 irons or 5 irons. I don't care what it is. If you like that club, put it on the bag. Okay? And if that's what you want to do, then you'll be ready to attack the world with a bag of 5 irons or 7 irons. So I've got this 7 iron here that I'm going to use and enjoy. We'll see what happens here. Okay, another little 2 iron here. now those are nice little 2-irons if you want the ball to hit on the green and run through it. Sometimes you might have to hit the ball on the green and stop it. You never know. That's why they have these irons. So I might want to hit the ball up in the air a little bit more. If I want to hit the ball up in the air more and more, I tell you, it seems to me if I put a little loft on the golf club, I would have a better chance of stopping it on the green. Of course, I'm only going to use that when I'm downwind because that's when I need to hit it up in the air. So I would take it, open the club face slightly, but I will move the ball up in my stance a little bit so I'll catch a little bit more on the upswing. And then I'll just stay behind the ball here, and we'll throw the ball up in the air a bit. This should stop on the green. Okay. Looks like it stopped better than the other one, doesn't it? Now sometimes, though, I can't reach that green in the air, and I've got a strong wind in my face, so I'm going to try to run it in there, or I'm going to hit it low and into the wind, and all I'll do then is close the club face slightly, take loft off the club, and I'll move it back in my stance to catch the ball a little bit more in the downswing and actually come square a little bit earlier. So I just move it back, close the club face, and that should produce a slightly low, probably a draw. Well, forget the draw, but it went low. Now, which one of these am I going to use this week? I got the PGA Championship coming up, and I don't know which one I'm going to use. Now, this one I used at the Memorial Tournament, this one I used at the U.S. Open, this one I used at the Senior Open, but I didn't use it very much. So, which one do we use? Well, let's see. I think we're going to start off here using the one I've been using last week, right? Now, all these are different things. Obviously, the wood clubs, that's the driver I used in most of the mid-'70s. And the reason I have that in my bag is because it's a driver that I don't hit quite as far as some of the other drivers, but I hit it a little straighter, and I can maneuver it. Wood drivers are easier to maneuver than metal drivers. And when you miss them, they don't go as far. And that sometimes is good. If you hit a ball 270 yards, and you hit it with a good solid hit 270 yards, but you hit it offline and it goes 270, you get in a lot of trouble. And that's why the average golfer likes a metal wood, because his miss-hits go as far as his hits. And you have probably more miss-hits than you have hits, right? So that's why people like them. That's why they've sold so well. But for us, sometimes, maybe it's not such a good idea if I miss-hit it to be 270 yards. Maybe I ought to be about 240 or 45 yards and not go so far so I don't get in so much trouble. You know, I don't mind playing one more iron to the green. That doesn't bother me in the least. But playing it out of the trees or giving me another ball caddy is the worst thing I can say, you know. So anyway, here's the one I was used at the Senior Open. I only used it 15 times, so I'm not sure I'm used to it yet. This is this one. It's one of our flat bottom drivers, or new ones. Now, if I could swing it any faster, anybody see that swing? I frankly lost it. I hit the ball before I thought about it. Now let's see if we can make a little better tempos with it. A little better. That wind's coming back this way, isn't it? The wind was right to left when we came here. Okay, now that's what I do with that driver sometimes. So I have a tendency to lose it a little bit to the left. Let's try the one I used in the Memorial Tournament. See what I do with that. I had enough bad ones with this one when I shot 81. That's how I'll be able to see if it's any good anymore. Well, that one wasn't too bad. Well, now, wait a minute. I only hit one. The ball seemed to get in the air a little better with it, though. Well, I'll be darned. Now we'll just hit one of these over here just to see whether we can do. Now this one here isn't quite as long, and I can hit hooks and slices easier with this one. Pardon me? No, those are both 8 degrees. This one's probably 10 and a half, probably 10. This is my shorter driver. I have another wood driver that I used earlier this year, which was about 9 degrees, which I had a little further and it runs. I use those on the faster courses. And that's the trouble today. We got clubs for everything. Never know which one to use. Okay, this is the wood driver. Sounds different, doesn't it? That one was longer? It was longer left. That wasn't as long as the metal driver, was it? Because see, that one was mishit. I don't know which one to use. That's why I got the 3 of them in my bag. And then we've done a variety of things. We finished up with a little touch. Obviously, I go to the putting green, hit a few putts, and then we go to the round. 2 minutes? Is that all I took? 2 minutes. Okay. We're done with that yet? Okay. Thank you. Let's go over and see the golf course, okay?
The official ribbon cutting ceremony took place on the first tee. Jack Nicklaus then proceeded to officially open the course. Measuring 387 yards, the first hole at Country Club of the North provides an excellent way to get the round started. One of the shortest par 4s on the golf course, an uphill approach shot to this green will have to carry a vast greenside bunker. A bailout area over the green will allow the player to be creative in their attempt to salvage par.
Okay, now what we're going to do, we're obviously going to play the gold tees. You want to play, everybody want to play the gold tees? Lee, you don't want to play the other ones down here?
You can play the gold, and I'll play the ones up there.
Yeah, that's it. Did you play the gold tees when you were shooting all that 8 or 9 under par?
Mm-hmm.
I've known this young man for a long time. He can play. And you're very lucky to have him a pro. I've also known this young guy here. Dave started at Muirfield also. Worked with us under Jimmy Garing there. Went out and was our head pro at Bear Creek in Southern California before he got smart and got out of the golf business. And but both are very good players. Obviously, we're going to play the back tees. And we'll describe the golf course from back here, but there basically are going to be 4 sets of tees on most every hole. So there's going to be some golf out here for everybody. I think you should always pick what you want for your golf game and your enjoyment. And we're going to play back here. The first hole is 387 from back here. We just basically framed it with a couple of bunkers in the fairway that are out about 250 yards. The hole's bunkered on the right, opens up nicely on the left. We've put the pin in behind the bunker a little bit on the right here for a little bit of spice in the first hole. But I like to get everybody started off. The tree on the left has always been a question of whether we should take it or not take it. It's easier if you knock it down, then it goes. If you don't knock it down, then it stays. So that's your choice. Many times as you knock it down, that'll be your right. Sempe, you're going to be the first. Very good. Very well done. May I put mine beside yours?
I don't really want to fall out myself. That's a little better than the practice tee. Better than anything I hit on the practice tee.
You playing this way?
Beauty, Dave.
Look at this.
Very nice.
Every once in a while. Hey, how about, I'm going to go play another group. You guys go on. I'll join you later. Good gracious. Wait a minute. Okay, now what I've got is, you see, I didn't have this driver on the practice tee. This is a commemorative driver. This is the driver we hit the opening tee shot, which goes to Zempy here in the club. And you may put it in the pro shop if you like, in the clubhouse if you like. You may keep it if you like, or you can throw it in the lake, whichever you want. Your choice. But anyway, we hit the opening tee shot, and the reason I like to do that is if I hit a bad one, then I can get a mulligan. Since I haven't played this driver yet. Be one shot played with it, period. I forgot, this is a copy of a driver that basically I used for about 10 or 12 years. Aha, the driver's all right. You can't have it. Yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Having retired his driver,
Just nice.
Jack gave it to Zempy Hattori for presentation in the clubhouse.
Okay.
Jack retired his ball and signed it, also for presentation in the clubhouse.
That way I get a better lie. See, I can tee it up.
106 to the front, 20 back, 126.
126, huh? Okay, 126. All right, yep.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't have enough club. Not enough club, huh?
The second hole is a gorgeous 198-yard par 3 carved out of a dense forest. The tee shot will need to carry the two deep pot bunkers guarding the front right side of the green. Balls landing left of the green will require a delicate downhill pitch shot to save par.
Well, I'm going to hit a little 3-iron. I don't know whether that's too much or not, but I'm going to try to start it right about where those two people are, or three people, or 4 people, or how many over there. I don't know what the right club is, but that's what I played.
Hole number 3 is a 517-yard uphill par 5, which begins with a tee shot from the forest to a landing area containing 4 fairway bunkers. Long hitters will be able to go for this green in 2, but most will find themselves pitching their third shot over a huge bunker.
trees too. Clear down into there. Oh, nice. And hit it. Boy, is that slow.
At 464 yards, the fourth hole is the longest par 4 on the golf course. As a dog-legged left, it has 2 fairway bunkers guarding against those who want to try to shorten the hole by going right at the green. The approach shot to a long and narrow green is made difficult by large greenside bunkers, sure to swallow any shot off target.
One of the larger holes on the golf course. It's downhill, but the prevailing wind's this way, I think. Left to right and helping a little bit, I think. And we bunkered along the left side, as obviously as you can see. Brought the hole down in. The person standing behind it, oh yeah. Bunker on the right side of the green and bunker short left. Obviously, when you've got an open area, the idea is to try to figure out how to utilize the open area the best we could. And we sort of benched this hole in, benched a rough in, and then benched the next fairway in down here as we come back here to the 5th hole. But this was a couple areas on the golf course where we really didn't have anything to work with, and this is one of them. However, I think it turned out to be a pretty good hole. That's a good start. Nice birdie, that's right.